Welcome back to the channel. It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and it's been a few days since I last took to the pilot seat and blasted off into Starfield, as I've actually been circling back around and finally exploring Night City and Cyberpunk 2077, the first 20 minutes of which were spent totally in the nude as I forgot to equip clothing. Yeah, mistakes were made. But anyways, we've got some Starfield in-game mechanics to discuss, update 1.7.36, and what it really needed, Bethesda Burnout, some wild clips from the community, and then there is the giant announcements flying in all over social media concerning Microsoft and Xbox. So I've got a little something for everyone today. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by and supporting my Starfield uploads. In case you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. Chapters are there and available for a smooth and easy viewing experience. And here we go. Let's start this one off with the news that the blockbuster Microsoft Activision Blizzard $68.7 billion acquisition deal has finally been approved by the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, and all that's left to do is sign the checks and pop the bubbly. It looks like the transition of the cloud gaming rights for current and new Activision Blizzard games over to Ubisoft seems to have sealed the deal, and as they say, the rest is history. Now, as a PC gamer, I have no home team affiliation. I just want great games all around on all platforms for all gamers. And hopefully, the new studios being brought into the fold with Xbox can help bolster not only their current gaming portfolio, but interject some tech innovation and development into the brand. Switching over to Monday's Starfield update 1.7.36, and besides that field of view slider, which was actually a big deal, at least for Bethesda, the overall patch strength was really quite light. I followed the back-end changes for the week leading up to that patch's release and honestly felt there was going to be something more substantial than what was actually released, like DLSS, a huge amount of bug fixes, maybe some more of those Bethesda-mentioned incoming improvements, like a detailed map. But for the rare few owners of Intel Arc GPUs, update 1.7.36 seems to have dramatically improved their gaming experience. PC Gamer reports up to 149% higher frame rates and fixing texture corruption, which sounds like the game really was performing poorly for this hardware type. On DX12, there was a 117% uplift in FPS at 1080p Ultra settings and a staggering 149% at 1440p with high settings. So for those few select Arc owners, this latest update was incredible. But even this latest update has not been enough to keep some players interested in playing Starfield, leading to Bethesda Burnout, at least for their latest release. Games Radar just recently ran with this article. Todd Howard wants you to play Starfield for years, but even some Bethesda superfans are already sick of it. Quote, "I've been playing Skyrim again, it just hits different." And as someone that spent thousands upon thousands of hours in Skyrim, I tend to agree with some of the talking points of this article. In many ways, Starfield feels like it could have hit so much harder and connected with so many more players if it had just been scaled back some, say to maybe 100 planets in total, all with custom crafted encounters, more density, more randomness, and with an overhauled, better implemented travel system. I still thoroughly enjoy playing it, but it seems to affect me in a different way than that of Skyrim, especially when I'm in space, which is a core component of the game, and of course, all those loading screens everywhere. I don't know. Maybe let me know where you stand on this topic in the comments section below, and I look forward to reading your feedback. I think that one area of improvement that we can all agree on needs to happen is with loot. And this Starfield player on NG+2 decided to kill the exact same level 98 Elite NPC 100 times in a row and record the loot drops for science. Here's the results. 2/3 of those loot drops were blues, so just one modifier. 24 were epic, so 2 modifiers, and just 10 of those 100 loot drops were legendary, again on a level 98 elite boss, which you would think at that level of NPC, the loot would scale more towards the highest level available. Now, of those 10 legendary drops, 4 were melee weapons, 3 were helmets, 2 were guns, and 1 was a legendary navigator pack. I think we can all relate to this facet of Starfield, and I would actually throw into this discussion lockpicking. Even on Master Tier locks, I've seen a credit stick and ammo show up. It really feels like the randomness needs a tuner of sorts. The higher the difficulty, the better chances of the best loot, maybe even a scalable basement with minimum loot drop rarities based on the NPC level or the lock attempted. But I constantly read player comments that are frustrated with this mechanic in Starfield. I've been spending the better part of my last, say, 5 hours of Starfield game time just traveling from planet to planet, seeking out space combat, and I've been able to nab some pretty hefty enemy ships, and so when I saw this Reddit post by Maple Serpy, I had to mention it. Please God, Bethesda, just sell all the miscellaneous items on a ship with the ship. Listen to this experience. I just stole and sold 3 enemy ships and ended up with 2,700 pounds worth of miscellaneous items in my cargo hold because they were massive ships. We need an option when selling ships that pops up and says, sell all items with ship or add to cargo hold. It took me over 45 minutes to jettison it all by just mashing the button. Why have you done this to me, in all caps? Amen to this one. I have a seriously out of control board enemy ships for credits fetish, and every time I take one over, register it, and then sell it at a spaceport, all those loose items from the enemy ship transfer to my home ship's cargo, and before you know it, you've got 4 million egg-shaped desk assistant thingies and your cargo hold is full. Worst part is, you have to sift through it all because it gets mixed in with what you already had. This would be a clutch addition to Starfield, and just one of a million items that Bethesda could add in to make our experience that little bit better. Staying on this idea of spaceships in Starfield, and how many of you actually knew about this? Just an FYI, the extended warranty people have a nice ship. Now, I've had them wander across my path a few times, and I've always just ignored them, but MMCG 9096 decided they'd had enough and took their ship away from them, which is absolutely brilliant. And it looks pretty stout as well. Class C reactor, decent hull strength, and good cargo capacity to boot. I know what I will be doing the next time they float into my area and offer up that warranty for sale. And let's end this one up with a couple of genocidal explorers who were using fauna to rank up extremely quickly. Reddit user Canity posted this one. PSA, Schrodinger 3 is made of XP, and they proceed to hop up on top of their landed ship, and then they use it as a sniper's perch, systematically dropping any wildlife in range. But what makes this one even more interesting is their use of gear that has the chameleon talent on it, so when they stand still, they turn invisible, upping their damage output with that extra stealth bonus. Not to be outdone, 1 bot, 2 bot, red bot, blue bot says, screw all that stealth stuff, I'm bringing out the big guns. The post says, I see your Schrodinger 3 and raise you Calibre 2 for your XP farm. And they seem to have found the motherlode of all animal concentrations and are just going ham on them while racking up tons of quick XP. Now, I know that some of you are not into this kind of farming, it's a bit too much. Let me know where you stand on going crazy versus the wildlife once you land on a planet. Is it something you embrace or avoid? And that's about all for today. I'm going to keep watching the Steam changelogs and try to sound the alarm if I see something big about to happen in respect to patches. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. All my socials can be found in the video description. Shout out to the nearly 175,000 of you that have stuck with me and hit subscribe. And a special thanks goes out to my patrons and to those of you sending over those YouTube super chats. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.